I feel like that's super powerful because, like, as you say, it's like, I'm dumb enough. It's like people pride themselves in just being super smart. So what I'm hearing is no ego. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but let's try it. Like, let me remove my ego from this. Like, a lot of people, they think they know everything. Like, I don't know how. Like, you're not gonna be able to, because they know everything.
Yeah.
And there's no way. I used to have an uncle that'd be like, how do you think you're going to make it in rap music? Everybody raps these days. And he knew everything. I'm like, well, there's no space for you for things to happen because you're too smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's the beautiful thing, is to be dumb enough, AKA is to remove our own ego from our own, get out of our own way and just work and just allow it to happen and not know sometimes.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Jose Cruz. Yes, your favorite American man. Today we have a special podcast, man. I feel like, you know, the way the podcast has grown, the way the show is happening, man. A lot of people are hitting us up, man. A lot of individuals are contacting us because I know, and from my personal interpretation of it, is that they know we want to support local artists, businesses, creatives, you know, just really help tell the story behind the glory. And so today's guest, we have my man Emerald Depree. How you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic.
Bro, just real quick, I want to say, man, I love your fit, bro.
Thank you.
And you fit, bro, too. I'm like, dang, man, I'm feeling.
Yeah, man. Gotta stay on presenting the best self of yourself.
I love that, man.
Expressing yourself to the highest.
Dude, you know, that's the vibe I'm getting from you, you know, just kind of before we started shooting, man, it got real. It got real, you know, we just getting to know. It's our first time meeting, you know, you DM the show on Instagram, which you guys can do all, you know, anytime. But, yeah, bro, your vibe is amazing, man. I just feel like you have, you know, you have a certain knowledge and wisdom about you. Mm-hmm. You know, your music says, you know, like, I feel like there's two sides to you. There's like, hey, bro, this is who I am. I can get it. But this side is like, this is the real me.
Yeah.
You know, like this, just talking to you right now and just listening to some of your music earlier today, man. Just, you know, your vibe, again, everything about you is pretty legit, man. So far, I'm a big fan already.
Thank you.
You know, so let's get to know you, man. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? How old are you? Bank account, social security number. Let's get to know you, man.
Originally from Fresno, California. Graduated, ended up going to school in LA for some time. From there, from being in LA, playing sports, I played soccer most of my life. Got an opportunity to go out to Europe. And that's kind of like opened up my eyes to traveling. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the world is such a beautiful place to explore. And it's like, if you're a bird and you never leave the nest, then you don't know how beautiful the world truly is. And from my experiences, being able to expand my consciousness, expand my mind, has been able to make me know what my purpose is internally, and have an intrinsic experience expanded to where I could see the world more. And the more you view the world, the more you see everything in this life is really just a matrix. It's all an illusion. Right now, someone else is sleeping right now, and we're up. And in other countries, people are running around and it's evening and people are speaking so many different languages. But right now, we're just in this room.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, there are times where I do just think about stuff like that. You know, you mentioned the Matrix, and, you know, I feel like, you know, you think everything is a simulation. You think right now the world is a simulation. I mean, this is not getting to know your artist, your music yet. But I mean, if this is where we want to go, I'm down. You know, I'm curious about your thoughts.
I feel
on
like
this.
my artistry is a part of the illusion of it all, right? Like,
well, define the illusion then. What's the illusion of it?
The illusion is everything in life is a mere perception. It's like, it's based off of your experiences, your parents, what you've seen, where you were grown, your friends, your peers. So all this is an experience of my culture. I am my culture. I've grown as a person. I've listened to hip hop. I've saw the dance. I saw people that look like me on TV, busting flows, right? So as I grow, it's like, okay, that is the illusion of life. How can I reconnect to who I actually am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's was the question that you asked me originally is, who are you as a person? Well, the truth is I could show up as this, but when I disconnect, it's like, how can I truly, I'm a brother for some people. I'm a son for other people. All this is just is what I can present to the world because that's what the world wants to see in that moment.
Thanks. Okay. So, I mean, that's pretty deep. How old are you?
I'm 26 now.
26. Damn, man, you that enlightened at 26?
I mean, I don't even like to really say enlightened because like right now, if I'm being quite honest, it's like one of my darkest periods of life where I'm just like, what is knowledge if it's not applied, right? What is wisdom if you haven't experienced it? So enlightenment is just a mere knowledge, but the experience of it through the enlightenment. It's like, okay, you can know all these things, but what happens when life really you can know, if I punch you in your mouth, it's going to hurt. But what happens when it actually happens, when life actually hits you?
Yeah.
And then you become depressed and you don't know why you're doing the things you're doing.
Well, I believe that because I've heard that saying, wisdom is the application of knowledge. It's different when knowing something than actually applying it, and I agree with you, man, because if you're not ready for life, man, life is just going to tear you up, man. Yeah. Whatever the case may be, man, we can go in on so many examples, because I'm 41, I have some experience, and I think I've learned in my experiences, because I've been down this road where I feel like my experiences are the truth and it's my truth, but sometimes we can't allow like our personal experiences to be everybody else's truth, but maybe just say, hey, here's an example of how I live. Here's my experiences. If this is relatable, if this is something that resonates with you, then man, we have a connection. If not, man, like you said, we're just going on and someone's sleeping right now. Someone's working, someone's chilling, someone's doing this world is so big, you know, and I feel like what you
agree.
Like and what you said, you've traveled, and because of travel, it really opens your eyes up to more things, man. Let's get into that. What made you want to travel? How old were you when you wanted to start traveling?
So when I was 16, I was playing soccer. I was already in a space of going to different cities for sports. So that's why I say a lot of life accumulates to the person you are now. Everything you went through in your childhood is a big part of who you are now. So going city to city for tournaments was already exposing me to, there's a lot of cities out here. You're not just in Fresno all the time. Like you got a tournament in Sacramento, then you got to go to LA the next day, then you're in Florida. So it's like, okay, so the United States is one part. Then you meet friends that are from different countries. And then you have conversations and you're like, where are you from? I'm from Germany. You're black? There's black people in Germany? Like it sounds very ignorant, which it is because you don't know until you go. Yeah. Right? So
I like that. You don't know until you go.
You don't know. Like I don't know what I didn't know until I went to Iceland that they have a language of Icelandic. No clue. I didn't know. Icelandic is a language. Cool. Now I know. Yeah. So it's like as you're exposed to different people, you can then decide, do I want to extend my self-awareness of what this is, or do I want to stay closed-minded? Have you ever gave someone information and they're like, they could take it, or they'd be like, I already know this. Why do I need to travel? United States is the best place ever. There's some people that think like that. I've had conversations like, you should travel the world. Why?
I feel like it's an experience. I mean, I do. I mean, I'm originally from Seattle, born in Yakima, came down to Fresno, and I've been here ever since. I've been in like San Diego.
San Diego's beautiful.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been, these are kind of the basic stuff in California, and, even at my age, I'm trying to show my kids like, look, don't rush life. Don't be eager to get the full-time job. Don't be eager to go to school and college, travel. We really want our kids to experience that, those experiences you've had, many other people have that travel, and I do believe in, really putting yourself first in that, because unless you don't know, and then someone says, unless you don't know, man, I don't think you'll ever grow.
Exactly.
Because you get stuck in this Fresno mindset, the California mindset,
and that's whatever city you're from, whatever nest, comfort, radius you never left. If you're in this radius, that's all you know. You have to expand your radius. Some people do it through books, YouTube, internet, but it's nothing. It's so different when you actually read the book and then you actually go to I could read about Paris, but if I go to Paris, it's two different feelings because you get the smell of the city, you get the vibe, you get the people, and you're like, wow, these people are nice or these people aren't. Like, you don't know. And then a lot of times we get interpretations of other people's realities. We don't go there because it's the people there.
I've heard
dicks
that before.
Or don't go there. And then that person, that becomes their reality before they actually experience it. So they never actually experience it for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's real. And and I do believe that social media does ruin a lot of that, man. Social media, puts either, hey, man, it's dope, it's legit, or don't, know, because when you get a lot of people saying good or bad about it, you're like, who do I believe? So unless you go experience it yourself, you're right. I mean, I love that concept. I love that mindset, man, especially being 26, man. You got so much more to live for. You got so much more to experience, and I do believe I'm 41. I've told you, me and my wife, man, we've been married 17 years and we still want to travel. We still want to go and do things, especially being down the way I was down, the way life took me out, because I got too busy.
Where's a place you would travel to if you could travel anywhere around the world?
Honestly, what about you? Hey, we got my wifey here. What's up, Laura?
What's up? I think my first place, it would be Hawaii.
Hawaii is beautiful.
I know. I saw that you were there too.
Hawaii is, oh my goodness. Let me tell you, Hawaii.
Speak on it.
Is a detoxing, refreshing spirit experience. Because when you get into that water, you know how Cali water is. Cali water is it's nice. It's a beach vibe, but like Hawaii water is just clearing for the soul. It's cleansing. You feel...
It looks holy, bro.
You feel... No, like your skin looks better coming back.
Oh, okay.
You're more purified. No, you're literally more purified because you're up in the mountains. You're breathing fresh air. Like, you look up, our air's pretty polluted.
Yeah.
Our water's pretty tap. You can't really drink your sink water like that. So how do you think that's affecting your body and your mentality? So you go somewhere where it's not that at all. You come back and you're like, wow, like I feel good. I feel refreshed.
Did you have like a thought of like, I just might stay?
Yeah, I canceled my flight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my best friend lives out there now, and my best friend we're very similar. But he was like, man, what do you think of moving out here? And for me, like everything is very purposeful as a man. Everything is very intentional. Every move we make, it's like a chessboard. Like when you move, the king moves one move. It doesn't just jump across the board. So it's like, well, if I move here, why am I going to do this? Why am I like everything has to be kind of lined up?
That's true.
And that's kind of been the space I'm in is every move I'm making is calculated. I'm not in a space where I could just go chill in Hawaii, but I can experience it from being there and then see where I want to go next. I'm more in like the networking, connecting phase. And Hawaii is more of a relaxing, getaway,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that'd be ours. There's other places I think I'd want to visit, man. To me, I think more of the experience in Zimbabwe, because I have a few...
Zimbabwe,
Africa,
right? Africa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Africa, yeah. I had friends out there, did a lot of missionary work. I want to experience that, man. It's, because again, it's something different. It's something that I know, we as Americans, man, we get so caught up in what's easy and what comes fast, and it's not like I want to go to there just to experience I'm blessed. I just want something new, man. And I feel like those, and I feel like those type of, I want to give, man. I want to help. We want to put.
It's interesting because my mentor, he went to Zanzibar.
Okay.
And he went to a couple other countries. And he was talking about how the kids are so blissful and happy and they're singing and they're chanting, right? And a lot of times we think we have it, but it's like they actually might have something that we don't.
Yeah.
And that's that trade-off of energy. It's like, yeah, you think you're coming to give, but this person is actually giving back to you. Because it's like a lot of people that are highly successful are very unhappy, and these people that don't have anything, you're like, how are you so happy? Where's the life in this? Like, where's the life? Why is this kid singing and smiling and he's barefoot, So it's like...
That's real, man. I mean, again, those are the things that I want to experience, man. I want my kids to experience that. But I mean, other than that, now let's just get into because again, your vibe right now, it's pretty dope, man. You're a calm dude. I listen to your music. Let's get into your music. Your music, man, I feel like you turn it up, man. You turn it to a different level. It's like something that I can hear your experiences. I can hear, some topics are, pretty shady, or not. I don't want to say excuse me, not shady, but they're sketchy. I would say they're like they're real. It's real.
Yeah.
You know, define those. Like God Flow is pretty dope. I listened to that one, man. And
so like I'll rap something. What happened to the chain reaction? Some people only look back just to see what happened. You know, so it's like what happened to the things that are happening, and people only look back. I'd rather be the cause, not the reaction.
Yeah.
So it's like certain like. I put a lot of like hidden gems in my songs. Like, it's very pop. It's like you think I'm really like just popping off at you, but if you really listen to the lyrics, I'm really trying to say something. You know,
I hear it. Yeah,
and it's like the hidden gems because when you're a chef, I always relate my music to cooking. But when you're cooking, and you give your kids food. You're not gonna come in and say, "Hey, eat this broccoli." I don't want broccoli. Okay, well, what about this banana berry smoothie that has spinach in it, right? Yeah. So that's how I kind of do my music. I'll put like hidden gems in it, and it just looks a lot more tasty and colorful than what it actually is.
Dude, I like your metaphors, man. I feel like you have a dope way of explaining things, and like again, it's your experiences that are speaking, and so what made you just want to get into music? Because I know there's a lot of experiences that I want to get into, but what made you just want to get into music, and when did you realize? You had something to talk about when you had gems to drop.
Yeah, so I started making music when I was in the 3rd grade in my backyard.
How'd you do that?
I was in the backyard. We'd write rhymes, and then we'll go get a camera, and then we'll make videos of us rapping it. So I think it's a thing of like, is it just your purpose, or is it what you actually love to do? It's like when you're a little kid, what did you do as a little kid that was really fun for you? That was one of the things that was just really fun, beating on the table and rapping with your friends. Is it because how I'm shaped by society? For sure. But like, it's also a thing that I just took a natural liking to that I've always done. So for me, I don't really stop. I'm very persistent. So if I say I like this, I love it, I like it, I love it, it's gonna, whether I'm 6 or I'm 50, I should be able to still enjoy what I enjoy,
Oh, yeah.
So
how do you, who produces your music? Do you do all that?
Right now, all my music is produced by District 7 Studio. He's a really great producer. We've really been working together. He's helped me make some of my biggest songs. And he has such a beautiful space and very creative. And it's like having someone that you trust, but also having someone that's very knowledgeable, that understands your vision, and wants to see you grow. So his name is Raul, District 7, beautiful setup, beautiful good vibes inside the studio.
Where's he located?
He's located by Clinton and Brawley.
Okay.
Clinton and Brawley. You know that area?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the Villarda? Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to like your music and putting it out there, man, how do you put it out there? You put it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. How do you get people to buy it? How do you profit from it, man?
So when I put my music out, it goes through DistroKid, and DistroKid is it distributes it through Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. Pretty much, it does it through everywhere after that. So it's probably the best way for an independent artist to put out music, just because it's the most easy. You pay a fee, and then after that, you upload the song. And it depends also on the song if I want it to be on all platforms, or if my main platform has been really YouTube. If you haven't noticed, I really like YouTube.
I went through your page, man. You got some content on there, man.
Yeah, a lot of content, and it's crazy. Like, a lot of people look at like the accolades of it, but like the views, like, oh, this person has 1 million views, or this. They look at the streams and all that stuff, which is very important. But the experience that I have from like making videos, like I had a subscriber a couple years ago. I think I was in at the time I was in Spain, and one of my subscribers, they hit me up. They're like, "Hey, you're in Spain. I've been watching your videos." At the time, I had 269 subscribers. I didn't even have that much. Like, so I was like, "Oh, cool." Like, she was like, "You should come visit me in Berlin." And then from that, never meeting this person, just a random subscriber, I was able to go to Berlin and experience the city for a whole month. So,
damn,
the experience that you get from just being creative, like the connections and the relationships. So It's very deep when it comes to what you're doing. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then things will open up for you.
Yeah, man. So you started traveling when you were like 6?
18. No, my first time traveling out the country was 18 going on 19.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was so excited because I could drink on the plane. I could drink.
Yeah.
I could drink alcohol. I mean, you do that when you go to Mexico, but like, here in the U.S., it's like, oh, you can't drink until you're 21, and then they're like, would you like some tequila, sir? I'm like, I don't know why I make them sound like that. But like, would you like? I'm like, yes, 2 drinks, please. I'm like, for real? Like, I'm looking at the flight. I'm like, for real? Like, I can have this? She's like, yeah. You want it with Coke? So I ended up getting a little drunk on the flight.
Yeah. I mean, I was 14. I started drinking. Man.
Really, at 14?
Yeah, me, my brothers, uncles, some friends.
But it's different when it's legal, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's all illegal.
When it's illegal, you're just like, it's just you're doing it. It's fun. But when you're like, when you first turn 21, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go buy this.
Yeah, I'm going out.
Buy it. You already had it, but you're excited to
official.
buy it. Yeah, it's official. Yeah, so.
Well, that's dope. I like how you said your music just starting out. Because again, man, we get caught, especially in the social media world, man, we get caught up on the likes, the views, the follows, all that stuff.
It's real. Yeah. It's the Matrix, though.
Uh-huh.
Going back to the Matrix.
Yeah. And so I want to get into that more, too, eventually. But I want to, because again, where I think, a lot of people, and I feel like a lot of individuals wrap their identity around the likes, the views, the follows, the matrix of it.
Yeah. It's hard not to, though.
Yeah, it is, especially rather the impact, because I'm old school.
Impact's more important.
Yeah, I'm old school, man. I've been the generation that we grew up where there was no internet, and our lives transitioned into internet.
Yeah.
Then what is YouTube, and then what is MySpace, then Facebook, and it's like, I'm one of those old heads. I'll never have and then I realized the impact of it, And I think now everybody, I would say a lot of people, man, they don't know how to have that in-person connection, because it's this. This is like, oh, I'm laughing out loud, but it's just, and you're not, and it's like, are you really, So with the show, going back to like the impact you had with that one subscriber, man, because again, if you can make that connection through these cameras, through this type of, platforms, that's where I feel like people can. I put out one reel today, man, and it had a big impact.
Yeah, it's crazy. You never know like who's watching one.
Yeah.
And when they're watching, I don't know if you ever watched a video and it makes you emotional. You start crying. You're like,
I've experienced that.
I really needed to hear that right now. And that person doesn't know. That person's just making that content. But if that person is so caught up in their views, and to go back to what you were saying, the views and the likes, I feel like there's like 3 different levels of that. There's the first level is we all seek importance. We want to feel like we're important. So those likes and those views, a lot of us scale that to how important we are based off of the world. Is telling us if you get 500 likes, obviously to the world, to social media, it's more important than if you get 5 likes. And you really have to detach, which why I always go back to the Matrix. I just watched the Matrix, the last one, by the way. So you have to unplug because you see, it doesn't really matter, And then the second level is we all seek to be validated, our experience. So those likes comes to a place of, oh man, I'm validated, like I am special. We all want to feel special, whether it's social media or just in real life. Like now it's just kind of like a shortcut. It's like short dopamine hit.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, you're right. I mean, because I fall into that, especially starting a platform like this, man, and I think where my maturity has kicked in, because dude, I've said this a few times, man. I'm 41. My wife is doing this. It's not like I have the next trendiest things. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm not trying to be this, this next big thing. It's like, man, we're married. We're cool. I love my wife. We love our kids. We're a family of 5. I just really want to connect with people, man. I want people to like me and you, like you said, we've scrolled and we've watched the video. We got emotional, and I feel like if I put content out there based on what I've experienced, because I'll never speak on a situation that I've never been a part of or had personal experience, because that's not my place, that turns into opinion. But my experiences, come from many emotions, many, tragedies, many things that have happened to me because of people or because of me. And that's how I speak to people. And I think when I make it a general impact on people, man, like just today's video alone is what people speak on you, what people try to put on you. You know, they put on, you know, you're going to be like your dad. Stop doing like that. Stop acting like your mom. Stop acting like so-and-so. And they speak these on you. You don't know that as an adult, when you get older, you're living out what people speak on you. And I do believe God has a purpose. God has a better plan to push back, you know, push past those barriers, you know, and then I go on to say, stop living out what people speak on you, man, and live out the life that you were called to be, you know. And when I posted that, I had to turn my phone off, you know, because I knew it resonated, man, because I know we live in a world where, like we talked about earlier, you know, oh, we're men, we don't cry, we don't do this, we have to hustle and grind to, you know, put on, you know, ignore the emotion, ignore the anger, ignore the frustration, ignore all that, because we're men, we have to do this.
Yeah, you're moving so much, and then deep down you're really empty.
Yep.
Because you haven't really fulfilled it with, like you said, you have your wife, you have your kids. You fulfilled it with salt water. So you're drinking out of the ocean and you're thinking this is going to bring me satisfaction, and it's never enough. No matter how many sodas you drink, it's never enough. You're filling yourself up with things that aren't really fulfilling, which is love from your family, which is love from doing what your purpose is and doing what you love each day. And you're getting fulfilled from the likes, you're getting fulfilled from the views, from the people saying, hey, good job, like you're amazing. You're always going to be empty. And a lot of people are chasing that empty fulfillment as if it was something that's fulfilling them. And the two things is what happens when you're winning in the illusion. I can't tell you anything. You don't want to hear it because you're winning. You know, deep down, there's a sense, but you don't want to hear it until something starts to break, something you feel the glitch, which now you're going through a divorce.
Yeah. My man Poe reaching over here.
You feel what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Now you're actually going through something. Now you're like, oh, let me step back. Oh, my family doesn't really like me, but I have all this money. I have all this, but my family don't love me.
It's so weird, man, when you say that, you know, because I know some people that have that experience, you know, and it's like you've achieved everything else, you know, but your household wasn't successful, you know. And I do believe from experience, I've seen elders, you know, men in my life that were supposedly my mentors, you know, I've seen their lives wrecked, you know, just jacked up, you know, but yet they're leaders, they're pastors, they're this, they're that, you know. And I've always had issues like, if you guys can take care of the foundational work at home, why are you in this position? You know, because I do love to practice what I preach, but I'm in this place now where I'm preaching what I'm practicing, you know, and it's not perfection, man. But again, it comes down to what I've seen doesn't work. And I've seen how it made these individuals very unhappy, very hurt, very destroyed. And I don't want to be that. I don't want my son to experience that. I want my son to have, you know, that real experience, especially as a man, a young man. And, you know, again, that's coming from experience. I want to talk about that. I want to reach people, you know, the impact is real because I can impact. I feel like right now in person, we couldn't have this full conversation through
social media and texting.
But if you can't be this in person, and you're living your life in the matrix on social media, man, is it really impact? So
and you're winning, you look good and you have all the attention, and attention is addiction. Like I'll say that again, attention is addiction because we become so fulfilled by people looking at us and people looking at our page and we're scrolling. And I'm guilty of this. That's why I know I'm guilty of, man, if people are paying attention to me, then I'm winning. In businesses, they notice that. So then they start to contact you because they see you have all the attention. So attention is addiction, and it's also a commodity. But it's like, where do you allow it to be your idol or your master?
Yeah. Well, I've heard Charlemagne the God, man, I'm a big fan of him. He had said that, because I don't want to take this quote, man, it's not mine, but he says, money is still the root of all evil, but it's really not. He says attention is. You know, we get so driven for attention. Every selfie, you know, as a friend of mine, you know, I poke fun at her all the time. She posts a selfie and everyone's gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous. Because people want that attention, that validation. Is it her? Maybe not, because I think I know her a little bit too well that she's not. but there's always that human side of us, the flawed side that we, I do like that. It feels good. But every time, man, I'm like, I put like a throw up emoji. Everyone's simping. Everyone's just being this, every dude out there. It's like, me, I want to be that other guy, and I think I've learned that, man. And I can't be, because I'm a hypocrite, because I have a platform. I have something that's always have my face on it, So it's a double-edged sword that we got to learn that, you know what? This could help us or hurt us,
Yeah, it's either you controlling it or it's controlling you. And that's with everything, though, that we do. It's like any extreme of anything could be a negative. Working out too much. If I work out I'm going to work out 7 days a week. I'm going to work out for 5 hours.
Man, you pretty fit too, bro.
Terrible idea.
We've done that, you know?
But it's not healthy. And something so healthy is unhealthy for you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just knowing how to find your flow and knowing how to live a life of wisdom versus a life of overdoing anything, and allowing anything to control you. So that's why the law of detachment is key, to be able to detach from everything. That's why Moses went to the top of the mountain and Moses got away from everything. It's because he needed to detach from his leadership and he needed to just connect to God's source. And I feel like that's really important. Is stillness, is quietness, is getting away from the world.
Yeah, and I think I've learned that, again, from experience, man. I had a lot going on before I was sick. Business was booming. I had another podcast with that one dude I told you about that got me sick. We had a show together. It was popping, man. It was growing. And business was doing great, but my family wasn't involved. My wife wasn't involved as she is now, and it's not so much intentional, but I got just too busy, man. And the detachment, the getting away was me in the hospital, me being home with, for 6 months and realizing in the hospital, it's like I needed them. And I had subconsciously in my mind, I had all these experiences. It's like, me ignoring my son when he comes show me a Roblox thing when I'm working. I'm like, oh, that's dope, dude. And I'm on my phone. And subconsciously, I see him walk away very upset, very hurt, and it's like in the hospital, I'm yelling at myself. I'm mad at myself. I'm like, man, I would die. I would cut off my legs just to be home, And again, when you experience something like that, because again, like you said, life's going to hit.
Oh, it hits you hard.
So when you're not ready for it, mentally, emotionally, and physically too, with COVID and all that, man, or any type of sickness, monkeypox, but
it's also weird that you could be ready for it.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what helped us. I've mentioned this so many times, long story
short. It does help. Yeah.
Last year we got in shape. We were eating right. We took our health very serious up until April. When they opened up last year, we started working out all the way to August. Every day, 5-6 days a week, hour, we weren't going extreme, man. But my doctors, nurses told me, like, you saved your life. You took your body serious. Your body was telling you something that you need to eat healthy. You need to eat right,
Yeah.
And again, it's like taking the initiative and being ready, again, being prepared.
So true. That's so true. And I'm thinking about like the same with my experiences. It's like, okay, I'm an artist. I'll perform a big show and we'll do our business. Everything's booming, like you said, and I'll step on stage and I'll step off a stage. And then I'll go through something where I'll get a text. Like recently, it was like 2 weeks ago, right after my show, one of my best friends that I made music with passed. And I hadn't even really talked to him. It's been a while, because we get so on the grind and we want to grow and get to that next level, and we're going for it. And anyone that's not on that same grind, they can't be around you.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that, man.
I'm super guilty of that, and I still do it. But after he passed, it's like, damn, like I did all this stuff. I would go out and give back to the homeless, and was it vain? Like I didn't even reach out to my friend when he needed me most, And stepping off stage, it's like, okay, yeah, boom, applause, congratulations, all right, condolences. Now I'm going home. Now it's like I get a phone call. Hey, what's going on with the house? My mom's missing. No one knows where my mom's at. Still don't know. She won't tell us, but she contacted one of my sisters. So now it's like all this family stuff, and then it starts to mentally weigh on you. But the thing where we get prepared in advance is like, okay, man, I've been meditating. I've been very in a good space. I do the affirmations. I do all the positive things to keep me positive. But when I'm actually in a really, really dark space, it's like, man, I do not feel any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Flip side, let's say if I never did those things, I'm in the dirt, right? Because I haven't set up my mind to be fruitful. My mind is fruitful right now. I'm mentally the strongest I've ever been, but mentally struggling the most I've ever been as well.
Yeah, I just feel like that's just life, you know, because there's never going to be a point where you've arrived. There's never going to be a point where you think, no, I've made it.
Exactly,
you know, there's always going to be something. And, you know, I think now, you know, speaking about stuff like that, to me, that's just, you know, again, it's an experience that you have to have, man, because there are so many people in the same position. You know, it's like we're no one special. You know, we're no one, whether our bank account says something else or whatever, our house, our living, our followers, you know, the blue check mark that everyone so desires.
Yeah.
You know, we're all in the same position, man. It's like we're either gonna die or live, and how you live is what's gonna matter. You know, the impact. You know, because I do believe sometimes, man. You know, in experiences that I've had, you know, I do believe sometimes people are too smart for their own good because they feel like they just leave the basics of life, and it's like, it's like really not how you're making it. You know, and I think,
I agree.
You know, even in the simplest forms, or even, you know, at the highest, you know, and I think we're missing that human connection. You know, just be my
all
brother.
We need is love. Just talk to me. Just listen to me. Be here for me.
Don't tell me where I'm wrong or where I'm right.
I don't want to hear your wisdom or your pearls right now. Just sit here. Sit here and just listen to me.
Let's talk about everything else. You know, and to me, I think those are the simplicities of life, you know, that real connection. And I think that's what I love about what we do here. Because even talking to you now, this is my first time meeting you in person, dude. And I can already tell this and go on for a bit because we have a connection. That's the human connection, man. And I never want to forget that, whether it's in, you know, whether I believe in a certain religion or, you know, politician or anything, man, all that is aside. None of that matters to me, man, whether you agree with me or not. It's like, bro, let's go get some menudo or something and chill. Let's go get a bowl of pho and talk about life. It's that simple.
The one thing I was just thinking about was like, when people are when you said people are too smart for their own good, it's like, what happens when you're exposed to information that you're not truly ready for? And I feel like that's the one thing that God kind of does with us. It's like, kind of looks at us and he's like, is that person truly ready for what I'm ready to give them? Is the seed ready for the soil to be fruitful? And a lot of times, a lot of people go too fast, but they go right off the edge of the cliff. You hit the million views, but now you're strung out on drugs, right?
Yeah.
It's because you weren't really prepared, that the mind and the body wasn't really prepared for the success that you're desiring. So it's really huge to like know how to, because I've seen a lot of friends that know all this information, that's read all the books. You know, you said I'm 26. I feel like I've been thinking like this since I was 17, 18.
Yeah.
So if I'm not moving forward in my life, that's a problem.
It's real. I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Which that if I believe the hype and the illusion of the world, then that puts me in an even darker place. Because I mean, it's nothing worse than being a millionaire and going broke. If you're already broke and you just stayed broke, you're just broke. But if you're a millionaire and now you're broke, then you're in a really, really like, I might kill myself right now.
Yeah, that's real. Because sometimes that, again, it goes back to, was that us the whole time? Did we need that money validation, that job, title, business? You know, and so I like you, I'm thinking, you know, it's like the Matrix messes us up. But one thing I love about those movies, because I'm a big fan, I went and saw those movies when they came out.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
an awesome movie.
I snuck in on all of them, you know. But one thing I loved about it is that, you know, Neo's or Keanu Reeves' character, Neo, you know, didn't know he was in the Matrix, didn't believe he was a part of it. He always knew something about it. It was just something different. How somebody opened their eyes, but it was like, you got to make a choice, red pill, blue pill, you know. But then after he made the choice, what did he do? He actually took advantage of what the Matrix offers. It's not real, but let me show you what I can do.
Exactly, and
you know?
And that's where us as creators, as beings, walking beings on this earth, get to do whatever we want. And what does it mean? I mean, all right, yeah, you did all this. It means nothing. I mean, we see what Will Smith did, all these movies. You acted great. You became one of the biggest influencers. You made one mistake. No one cares anymore. Down the drain. How is that possible? Right? Let's just say we haven't even did all that stuff, and we could see how fast the Matrix could glitch and be like, yep, it's done.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, none of it really matters. Okay, go have fun and enjoy it, but still remember to unplug. And I mean, when I was watching The Matrix, it just made me think like, when you unplug out of the Matrix, it's very dark. I was like, why would he want to unplug out of that? It's beautiful in there. It's just a beautiful space. When he comes out, it's like a dark city. There's no lights. It's creepy.
Tunnels.
Tunnels. Like, why would I do? And it's the same thing with our personal lives. It's like, oh man, my kids don't really like me. Like my best friends don't really fuck with me like that. Like, you unplug and it's like, oh shit, you really do have to work on that shit. When they started to work on it towards the last Matrix is when the oxygen and the air started to come back. So real life isn't always as beautiful and pretty as the Matrix, but it's real.
It's real. And I think that's what keeps us grounded, because we get lost in this, man. And now I'm guilty of that. I never want to act like I'm there again. I'm people that listen and watching, you guys, man, it's not like me and Emerald are here talking like it's perfection or we've arrived, man. Nah, man, we're still in it. Yeah. We still have those manly urges, those thoughts, those things where I'm alone, man. Should I beat my meat? I'm alone. I'm this and that. Yeah. Is that wrong? Is this? Should I text her? Should I DM? Should I, it's again, that's what we deal with as men. That's what humans deal with. But again, like you said, man, it's the difference when you apply it. Because if it's done in secret, things eventually come out. Yeah. You said something that, when God is like, if they're ready for this, they're ready for this. One thing I love about my relationship with God, man, is even biblically, he says God is not the author of confusion. So there's not one thing he's ever going to do that causes confusion to make us doubt our relationship, to make us doubt what's going on. I do believe certain things happen because it's just life. And we do live in this period of time, man. It's grace and mercy. God is going to be like, look, y'all do you. I love you, but it's because I love you, I'm going to let you. But there's going to be a day. But until that day, grow, move forward, keep moving forward. Figure it out. Let's figure out how we can better ourselves. Let's figure out how we can be better for our brothers and sisters. So I just think now with this whole conversation, because dude, I've been waiting for a conversation like this. Yeah. Some of that can vibe off of that. We can just say, just get to know each other and build each other up. Whether there's certain things we say is like, but I can still respect you. And I think that's what's important. Because I mean, so far, man, we're, I think we're related, man, because love the Matrix. Love all that good stuff. It's
what's funny is I haven't really watched the first two Matrixes. I just watched the last one. A lot of people say they don't even like the last one. Have you watched the last one?
I've watched it. We watched it that night. That day it was released, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. I would say only from.
They said they didn't need it the last one, but I was like, man, the last one is the only one I watched. Really, I need to go back and watch the other two.
You need to watch the other ones. I know, but the only reason why I think, speaking from a filmmaker, or at least from a guy that creates, it's like he did this a lot. There was no fighting, man. First ones, the people were fighting, It's like now it was just like mental stuff. And I did love the way they ended. I loved how, this is just kind of my thing. I loved how Trinity needed Neo and Neo needed Trinity. Yeah. It wasn't like the woman's above the man or the man above the woman.
The balance of the yin and yang. They gave us that good balance.
That's what I love.
Women and men power.
Yeah. But the action of it was kind of like, it's just by the time it got to action, the movie was over. But that's just me being picky. But overall, I'm a big fan of that. I get now talking about it, I want to watch them now.
Yeah, I gotta do like the trilogy.
I'm old school. I got DVDs still.
I've been looking for a VHS.
Oh,
yeah, because I got a lot of old tapes of me when I was younger. I'm like, man, I want to watch them.
Get them converted over, man.
I got to get them converted over. So
let's get into your production now. Do you make your own music? Like because obviously you make your own content. You shoot. What do you do on a daily, man?
On the daily, I normally wake up. I work out. I mean, I go to the gym. I'm also a personal trainer as well. I run my own fitness business. That's been a huge thing. As far as music, I'll write every single day. I have to do vocal lessons. I have to make sure my voice is strengthened. And then whenever, I always say more life. I like to say more life just for the specific reason. The more I experience life, the more I could write about. I can't write if I'm just writing and in the studio. Like I actually legitimately have to go out and live.
That's real. I mean,
Because
again,
what else am I going to rap about?
that's true.
I'm in the studio every day, in the studio writing every single day till May. Like, I don't really do anything. I think I called my bae and said, hello, let's go to LA. Like, you know, like, what am I?
Yeah.
I have to write about, like, I have to do different things. Like, I got to go scuba diving or something random. So I try to live life, and then it inspires my writing. And then I just go to the studio, book the time, and that's it.
Yeah, and that is so real, man. You're right where I'm at. Because again, goes back to the experience of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that's why I have a lot of problem with a lot of pastors, because I've experienced a few I would say pastors.
Mm-hmm. My mom's a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes.
You know, but I'm not, again, I'm only gonna talk to what I've experienced, because I'm not gonna just say all pastors and all Christians and all people are, no, I'm not. You know, but the thing I have always had a problem with these pastors that talk about things, especially when they have PKs. You know, the little kids that were
PKs are the worst.
Yeah, and they
I know,
and they
I'm
preach.
a PK.
You know, but the thing is though, those ones I've experienced, they preach about, you know, God's gonna help pay your bills. How do you know?
Yeah.
Your dad and mom pay your bills, and they pay you to be up there. It's like you don't know nothing. Don't talk to us. You know, that's where I have a hard time taking, you know, words of wisdom that people haven't experienced, you know, and to me, again, that's going to be me knowing that I'm only going to speak from experience to help it relate and resonate with somebody to help them get through where they're at right now, you know, go to that next step.
Yeah.
Know? And if I can be that guy, good. That's one stepping stone, like you said, to keep moving forward.
Yeah. It's funny because I talked to one of my brothers about this, and my brother is like a gangster, real Crip. Used to rob people, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He grew up in Compton. We have different dads. I grew up in Fresno. Total different relatable experiences. But I think about, like, if I was to talk to someone in a similar, like from the hood or something, they have that same, like, what do you know, right?
Yep.
I can't really relate to you that much. I can only relate to you from a certain standpoint. Mm-hmm. But my brother can, right? My brother spent my brother was in prison in the 2003 until 2021. So now he's doing great though. He's doing really good. He bounced back. He's making even more money than I am. Like doing great, right?
That's dope.
But he could have those conversations. So it's like everyone has a different purpose to have different conversations with different people. So that PK can only relate to other PKs, maybe, you know, like until they really go through the dirt, you can't really, you could say through a knowledge, but not through experience, right?
Yeah. And again, knowledge is only so much after experience, man. Cause again, these PKs, man, you know, no shade on you, you know, but the ones I've experienced, it's like, that's really a small circle. You know, I never want to tie myself to a small circle. You know, when I left ministry, I was a pastor, youth pastor, man, and I was impacting the community in Selma. But when I left that, man, my impact doing this type of stuff has gotten so much bigger. Just within a year's time, I've impacted so many more people that I've ever done in my life in 17 years of ministry, 18 years. You know, and it's like I look back, it's like, did I just waste time, or or is this what needed to happen for I can have that experience for this? Because I do believe God positions us and primes us for moments like this, and especially these times, especially having these types of platforms. And
I think it's cool to see examples of that, right? Like we see different examples of like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, right? Martin Luther King's father was a pastor, and he was a PK as well. His impact was great, but Malcolm X didn't really relate to Martin Luther King because he was like, dude, like my dad was ran over by a train and beaten. Don't talk to me about this it's the same comment. Don't talk to me about what you don't know, what you haven't experienced. But that's why it's like certain people can only connect with certain people because we could understand. I got to the point where Malcolm X, towards the end of his life, after he went on to Mecca, he understood that, like all people are equal and, to love all people and, but Martin Luther King was already speaking that. So sometimes it does come full circle. Comes back to, oh, wow, we do understand each other.
Yeah.
That person goes through what you were already going through, and now you're up here in this, and then you connect again. And it's like that person that was preaching from a place of holy imperfection and having everything goes through cheating on his wife or something happens to him dramatically. And then he comes back to, now you're actually in a really good spot and you're like looking like, now you understand why I was smoking weed.
Yeah. Well, I like that. You're right. Because again, there's two dynamics, two different life experiences. And I think this is what I said earlier, is that sometimes we let our experiences become our truth. And sometimes when we say that's our truth, we say, no, that's the truth. It can't be, because your truth is not mine. My truth is not yours. Whether we believe there's one truth, that's what makes it so great, man. It's like, dude, good for you.
Yeah, because
I'd love to know a little bit about that.
We both go watch a movie and we leave the movie and one person says, how do you feel about the movie? And one person, I absolutely hated the movie.
Yeah.
Other person says, I really loved it. I took a lot of wow, it was a great movie. Well, which one is true? You know what I mean? Like,
that's real.
which one? How can I say?
In its simplest form, dude, you're right. Doesn't matter. The experience is like we went together. I think that's how simple it is. We go chill, have a good time. We watched
it. I mean, we know that this was the actor. We could talk about the details. So we could talk about the details of life and we could discuss the details. But your personal feelings is based off of your own experiences of life from childhood to adulthood.
Yeah, and there are gonna be many people that have that, and so I feel like where I'm struggling with in society is that when you get enough people wrapping around that their truth, it's forced upon.
Which that is how our society is right now.
It is, and that's very.
We're not philosophers. We are truth tellers. Like I don't know. Back in the days, we'd come in a circle. We'll all debate. And it'd be a debate of who, like, not who's the smartest, but we want to share our knowledge collectively so we could grow because intelligence is beautiful. That's fun. That was video games. I was playing Call of Duty back then. Now it's more like I'm on social media. This is what I know. You're stupid. Like it's not really coming from a place of intelligence. It's coming from a place of ego and lack of intelligence.
And emotion.
And lack of research.
Yeah.
I don't see people really doing research. I don't see people really going deep.
Their sources are, I saw it on TikTok.
Google, Google Gaga. I Google Gaga this. So you tell me you Google something for 5 seconds and now you're advanced teacher.
And this is on either side. Again, they're guilty. Everyone's guilty of it.
It's just in the middle. It's just fact. That's just real. People do that.
Man, y'all have no idea what y'all listening to, man. I mean, this is some bread, man. Y'all get,
we're not even really talking about my artistry, which is cool for me. I'm fine.
Well, you did mention you have a tour coming up too, right? You have you have something.
5 cities. I'm going to 5 cities.
Let's talk about that while we're at it then.
I'm going to go to San Diego, do a show in LA, Oregon, and we're booking a couple more cities, kind of still in the works right now, but
when's this happening?
Within the next, we're setting it up for the next 2 months, 2 months out. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to hit different colleges and different venues, just to expand and connect. So that I don't want to be local. I want, like, when I say local, people think Fresno. Local is United States, actually. That's my local.
You got some dreams, bro.
So I want to be able to expand, but right now you have to start somewhere in your environment, and I feel like that my environment is the U.S. I want to do LA. I want to do all the major cities, and then go from there to out the country. But it's like, man, honestly, we're in a good space right now, just because it's like you have that one viral video on your podcast that blows you up. Everyone knows about your podcast. Everyone. You have that one song, everyone knows, and then. Right now, I'm in more of the grinding stage. Hey, what's up, man? Can I come? Can I perform here? Can I do this? Can I, And the illusion of it is I could just be like, yeah, I'm doing these shows, but no, I'm making phone calls. I'm like really doing.
Into what? You're putting in the work, man.
I'm in the grinding stage of the artist. I'm not in the fun part.
That's sweat equity, man. My boy Johnny Fisher's like, that's sweat equity, man. You put it in there.
Exactly.
And I like that, man, because again. What this world, this industry, man, is so heavily inundated with everyone that has that same drive. And I think what stops people, man, or at least slows them down is like that one moment where you're like, nah, I'm gonna chill today. I'm gonna go. And I don't feel like that moment when you feel like and you don't. I feel like that's when people miss that opportunity. That's why I continue to do this. That's why I continue to keep putting out content like I talked about, man. When. Who told you that? That's, it's like, I didn't want to put that out today. I was, I'm gonna. I didn't feel like editing, but I did. Yeah. And I know it impacted people, man. And I think when people just, are hesitant or just lazy, lackadaisy, or just not in the mood when they don't take that step, or that make that phone call
or that text to that podcast to make, you're sitting on your gifts.
Mm-hmm. Don't sit on y'all gift. Y'all listening and watching, man.
Don't sit on your gifts, man. It's your gifts are valuable. And not only do you need to express it, the world needs it.
Come on. I mean, I don't know how many titles we've just came up with for this podcast. My man, we just dropping some gems on here. So who you traveling with, man? What other artists are you working with?
Right now, everything's solo.
Oh, shoot. Hell yeah.
But it's the reason why is because I've been opening up for different big artists. So I'll book, let's say, recently here in Fresno, it was Blueface and Mozzie. And in LA, supposed to be 2 Chainz and Trey Songz. So what I do is I'll book a lot of opening shows, and I try to keep it in the same space of similarity to myself. But even if it's not, I just try to make sure I can really rock out the crowd.
Stand apart.
Yeah, until my brand grows a little bit bigger to where it's like I could sell out the show individually, and that's what I'm manifesting right now. That's what I'm visualizing. That's what I'm praying for.
I believe you'll achieve it, man. Because again, I do in experiences. Again, I remember when we were beginning of our marriage struggling. I was like, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna keep doing this production. I'm having people tell me, get a real job, do this, that the same old thing. But it's like, just wait, just watch. Everyone that hates, everyone that talks, or when you go to certain, gatherings or parties, it's like everyone's bringing all the big stuff, and we're like, we don't have that. And my mind is like, just watch, wait and see until this comes into fruition. And then if you're not ready for it, man, it's going to pass you by. And I do believe that's why I'm so blessed with my wife, because she always supported it. It's not like I never wanted just to go work, because I've done construction. I've done the burgers and, tying vines, working in the field.
It's part of the grind.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm never going to do that, but till what I would say, man, about 5 years ago, this started coming to fruition. I'm 41. It doesn't come when we're 26 or 20. It doesn't. There are some people that are blessed. Some people that
we believe it, dude.
Yeah,
we believe. We feel like, oh, this should be happening now.
But what the funny thing or the dope thing is gonna be is that when that actually happens, you're not surprised. You're like, I've been dreaming about this forever. I'm actually
working on
in
this for
stride.
A while. Yeah,
I've been here. Now that I'm here, I know how to handle it.
How were you able to stay so patient in your journey until, knowing you want to do this, everybody was telling you need to get a job and all that stuff, until right now to where you have this beautiful, amazing setup that I'm able to experience through you, which I'm super appreciative. But what was the journey? What was the process like? For yourself?
I don't know, man. It's not like I don't want to, that's actually a really good question. I don't think anybody asked me that. It's not so much I had the patience and I knew, and I was at this place of Zen. It's just, I think I was dumb enough to believe in myself. I really was. I do believe, man. And it's not so much, I know there's times like, well, I guess I can't pay rent.
Yeah.
That's life. That's reality. It's like, I guess we're not, we can't just go to McDonald's no more. It's just beans and rice, or it's just noodles, or whatever. Yeah. I just always knew, and I was dumb enough to believe in this. Even I've lost patience. I wanted to quit. There was always something in my path to bring me back to it. And I do believe that's God was like, no, man, that's where you're called. Because someone would always reaffirm. Someone would always come and reaffirm. A stranger that spoke into our lives, had no idea, never met this person, and said, you're a millionaire, right? I'm like, nah, man, I'm at a used car lot buying a used car. Well, God says you are. And I got through this whole, denying. I was like, man, dude, prosperity gospel, get out of my face, and I thought that. But then he started speaking. That only reaffirmed where I knew I should have been. And that's where I need to go. And that's, I think, and God brings people like you guys, or people in my life that just keeps like, dude, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. And I think it was the help of others. That's why I feel like I'm super now more than ever having the right people to speak into you, but not so much to tell you what you want to hear, but dude, quit being a little bitch, man. Get up.
Yeah.
Get up. It sucks right now, but get up.
Yeah.
Here's $100, but get up.
Yeah.
And it came to, all right, well, I'm dumb enough to believe it. You know, I'm dumb enough to believe God's word that says, yo, you can walk on water. Yo, you could heal people. You can heal eyes. I'm that guy, you know, and I feel like that's what got us to this point. Cause again, this is only a start to where I believe this is gonna go.
I feel like that's super powerful because, like, as you say, it's like I'm dumb enough. It's like people pride themselves in just being super smart. So what I'm hearing is no ego. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but let's try it. Like, let me remove my ego from this. Like, a lot of people, they think they know everything. Like, I don't know how. Like, you're not gonna be able to, because they know everything.
Yeah,
and there's no way. I used to have an uncle that'd be like, how do you think you're going to make it in rap music? Everybody raps these days. And he knew everything. I'm like, well, there's no space for you for things to happen because you're too smart. You know, and I think that's the beautiful thing, is to be dumb enough, AKA is to remove our own ego from our own, get out of our own way and just work and just allow it to happen and not know sometimes.
Yeah, dude, that's so real. Because again, I feel like the reason why, because I've ran into a lot of individuals, leaders, pastors, mentors, telling me her family, my family, and I think it's a thing is that they know, like your uncle maybe saw, like, you know, he's actually probably gonna do that. So what they want to do is they want to put something on you, they want to speak something on you, so you don't go past the level they've only can reach, you know, at a certain age, and so they want you to stay here because they're there and they want you there because of that, you know. And I think family members and friends and people are just afraid to see you grow and leave them where in the back.
Yeah,
you know,
it's always been strange.
If I said that right.
Yeah, you know, it's always been strange for me because me as a kid, always been like, man, did you do it? You can't really talk to me if you haven't done what I want to do.
Bro, same here.
So like, I take information from people that are actually, and it's pros and cons, because I mean, everybody has good information and good P's and Q's. But if you haven't been to the promised land, you cannot tell me how the promised land looks or feels, because you haven't been there. You can't even lead me there if you haven't been there. How are you going to tell me based off of a map, based off of your idea, your theory? I don't want to hear your theory. I want to hear people that are there, because people that are there normally won't tell you can't get there. They'll be like, this is how you get there. And they'll give you so much information to get there. You'll be like, damn, can I really do all that? Like, and then that's when you decide. So it's like, I've been blessed to have no one ever tell me I suck at what I do, though. I've always been like, if you heard me rap or you heard my music, you're very talented. You're a very talented person.
Bro, you are, man. I've listened to your work before you got here.
So now it's just the work, the manifesting of becoming the great artist, because talent is not enough. You could be great at a lot of things, but if you don't market yourself, you don't put in the work, the grind,
the other side of the coin.
It don't matter. You'll and it's cool because you get to do what you love. I mean, as long as you love it, you love it. But if you want to be a professional, you want to be the best, you got to work hard. Like you said, you gotta put in the work. You got to make those phone calls, do those podcasts. I got to do 30 podcasts, 100 podcasts. I got to do 100 more songs. I got to do 100 more shows. And I'm still driving a Toyota. You know what I mean? Like, I might be still driving a Toyota until the time that I'm not. And
well, how much is it saving you on gas, though?
It's good. That 4 cylinders. That 4 cylinder is good. But, you know, it's weird because you'll get off a stage and, you know, you'll be performing and you'll be this artist. You'll show up and everybody's like, whoa. And they're looking at the hype, the illusion, whatever. And, you know, I could feed into the crowd. I could be whatever you want me to be in that moment. But then I leave and it's like, okay, now go work at the car wash. Be normal.
Dude, you know what that reminds me of?
And then they're driving by and they're like, weren't you just on stage performing? What are you doing at the car wash? Shut up. Just leave me a tip, $5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of like the reality of like just the humility and the grind of it. But it's like, you know, you got to do what you got to do until you make it to where you want to make it. You don't need to fake anything.
Come on. Dude, that reminds me of 8 Mile, man. Eminem did just going to the shelter, battle it out. These guys got street credit, street status, street this. It's like, dude, we gonna kill the game, host these battles. He's like, I gotta go. He's like, what do you mean you gotta go? I gotta go to work. Work? What you mean go to work? I gotta go to work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the reality. And sometimes I think, man, that movie is a good example. I think, you know, I guess as an example, I'm losing the word right now, but dude, we get caught up in the hype of moment. Like, this is it. We've arrived. 180 people know my name. I'm going to be known around the block, the streets.
Yeah.
Nah, man, it's bigger.
It's way bigger.
The reality is I got to go back to work because homie's, he's filling in my job for a position. It's like, I got like an hour and a half left, so I got to go. And that's true. Because that's my favorite part of the movie. Walked away, it was just, peace out. Everyone went back to their normal life. It's like, nah, this is more than just, get my respect.
And it's crazy because, like, man, does Eminem still feel those moments now where he's at? It's how can you still stay anchored when you're so high?
I feel like the reason why, guys like you, Eminem, me, and all these other artists that we love, it's only because they remember that feeling. I remember the feeling, and I'll be very transparent, where we were living with my sisters here in Fresno, and they kicked us out. Family of 5. We had 3 babies. Pulled over on Clinton and Blackstone, 11 o'clock midnight, nowhere to go. Until 2 hours later, they called us, just come back. Yeah. Lowest moment. I remember that. Failed. We're crying. We're like, and now I see how blessed we are. And it's like, I don't want to go back to that.
No, yeah.
Everything I've done up to now was because I needed that to happen. So should and when things flip, should and when things grow, I remember that. My ego is not a thing. I don't need an ego. I don't need a hype. I don't need to have. It's great to have them. Again, I'm gonna take advantage of the Matrix. If I can fly in this, watch me.
Why not? Right?
If I can fly, why? Because you don't know what I've been through. Like he said to Papa Doc, he said, "Man, I know something about you." He said, "But you don't know what the fuck I've been through." That's what I'm saying. That's what it's like. Everyone was just like, they felt it. And I just think, when people watch and listen, like I really feel like this podcast is going to resonate, man, because everyone's be like, they can feel it. Yeah. They know. It's like, okay, if Jose's dumb enough to believe it, if Emerald's dumb enough to believe it, then I got to do it.
Yeah. And the weird part is we'll keep going back to the Matrix, but it's like, when we talk about like people that was like my uncle or just people that was like, you notice in the Matrix, the normal people, they start to glitch when you start to think different. Like, why are you thinking?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Go back and they'll attack you. They'll attack you based off because you're thinking different. You're thinking like, yo, what if this isn't real? Like, well, that's not what you think it is. No, it has to be that. And they'll attack you. So you will get the people that just decide just to be in the illusion, to stay in the illusion, to be there. And no matter what you say, you can't really bring them out until they're ready. Red pill or blue pill, right? But that's only for people that are like kind of wondering, kind of on the fence. There's some people that are so deep into this world that no matter what you tell them, they will never be for what you're saying. And that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's real,
Allow them to be that in this world. Because not everybody could be outside of it.
Yeah, not everyone could just fly off.
Exactly. But your job is to be able to bend and move through and do whatever you want to do. Because you decided. They decided not to. That's beautiful. Great. I decided to work at Taco Bell and clock in and go home. And that's what I decided. Is there another decision for you? I mean, deep down.
Probably.
If you want it, but you'll seek it, right? One of the Bible's quote is what? Ask, seek, knock, and you shall find. People that aren't asking, not seeking, not knocking, and the Bible says, don't throw your pearls to the pigs. Come on. So I'm not going to give you wisdom that you're not asking for. So I think it's a beautiful thing that there is a world of people that will always check you trying to be great, but it allows you to just be within the walls that you decide. They say it's a narrow path to heaven. It's you're not going to go with all the homies. You're gonna. It's a very narrow path.
That's real. And was many are called.
Yeah,
the chosen are few.
Probably like 1-3% of people will think and want to do what you do. Yeah, it's very few. It looks like it's a lot of people because a lot of people say, I want to be rich. Throw a rock. How many people want to be rich in this room? Everybody, I want to be rich.
Raise your hand.
How many people are actually rich?
Yeah.
It's different, right?
Even rich people that I know won't even say they are.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what's so funny about that, that mindset when people like, especially when you see it on social media, they want to display a certain lifestyle. Yeah. It's like, girl, you got that because you got your titties out. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Girl,
that's
you
true.
got that out because you showing that ass. You know,
Uh-huh.
you know, homie, you got like that because whatever. And
They,
it's just
they learned it worked in the illusion for them. They learned to use their titties, their sex appeal, sexual energy to, you know, make that OnlyFans, to make, you know, 10 bands, 20 bands. I mean, I have a friend that makes 30 to 40K in a month.
And I mean, I'm not gonna hate.
I'm not gonna hate, but I'm just like, at the end of the day, I mean, if that's really what you want to do, you know, there's always more options. Yes, you're gonna lose respect in this world.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of ways to lose respect, and there's a lot of ways to gain respect. Just be true to you.
Yeah. So that's a good example. As much as I like, again, I don't support that lifestyle, but who am I to say that's
If that's genuinely them? There's girls out where, you know, hoes since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You know, and there's guys that bought the hoes, you know, like,
yep.
So, I mean, that doesn't really change. It's just, are you genuinely that person? Like, am I genuinely me? Are you genuinely you? If you're not you, then, hey, then that's when we could judge, because you're not even sure of it.
Yeah. And see, that's where I feel like the next flip side of that is like a lot of people lie to themselves that they are or not. You know, it's like, if you're going to be, again, I always talk about this because this is where always it's on my heart. It's like my mind, who I am. If you're going to be it, be it. Don't lie. Don't lie about it, you know, and, you know, just sell all these wolf tickets that you are not, or you are, just be it. You know, I have this thing. If you're going to be a hoe, man, be a hoe. Be the best hoe in your life.
Commit to your hoe shit.
Commit. If not, quit acting or quit lying about that you are, you know.
Yeah.
You know, let it run its course. If you're going to be a bitter, angry person, run that. Let it run. See how long you like to stay in it. If that's who you are, I do believe, you know, by the grace of God, that's why, you know, we're in this period. I do believe God will let us be. He does let us be this. And and the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, the God, that He's the one that convicts, like, you know, I think it's ready for you to move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you know. Again, that's where I'm at. Now you know that feeling that, you know, I don't like that. I don't like that angry thought or that angry religion. I like that feeling. I don't like this.
Doesn't quite resonate with me right now.
But
I don't feel that.
What do you mean?
No.
Oh yeah, okay. I got you telling about. Are we debating?
No. I wasn't like that's. What I'm saying,
but you understand that's so real, because
Yeah.
sometimes we go back to what's familiar, and sometimes when we don't know it fully, man, we let it control us, and I think that's the scary part. Whether we're in denial or not, you know, and nothing can tell you experience and know it, you know.
And that's the beautiful thing is, how self-aware are you, right? Like, really, how, like, not everybody's self-aware. I think that takes a very mature place to be, is like, am I lying to myself right now about this?
Because again, self-aware was, I'm self-aware. You're not.
You're not really that self-aware. Like, you're lying to yourself.
If you're very self-aware, you're going to know everything what's wrong with you first.
People sitting here, you must be hella motivated. I'm not fucking motivated. I'm not that motivated. I'm forcing myself to do this. Like, I didn't wake up like 6 a.m. Let's go get this workout. Let's go on a run. Like, that's real motivation. It comes and it goes, but it's habit, and it's I just want to do it, and I have to force myself to go book these shows. Sometimes I have to get up and make up my bed. I've got to critically think about this and drive myself. I have to put myself in a good state to do this. Otherwise, I could be lazy.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't lie about it anymore. You know, I can't. People used to think, oh, yeah, you traveled and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, if I wake up at 11, I'm lazy. Yeah. And if you're going to be lazy, at least be truthful about it.
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that.
Right. Like, let's just be truthful about it. Like, I'm not waking up every day at 6 a.m. going for a run and working out and doing everything perfect. Sometimes I fucking sleep late and I wake up late. Like, and sometimes I don't. You know, I'm not in the mood to. And that's why.
That's cool.
It's fine. Just be genuine and know, you know, where that course can take you or won't take you.
It's like, again, we put this level of expectation on ourselves, and on account, the expectations we put on ourselves because of our social media, of the grind, the hustle. And it's like, nah, man, it's not like that. That's why I don't post, like, from my business page, I don't post anything no more. Like, I'm out here working, taking these shots, do work,
making
it's like,
popping bottles out.
Or just look at my work. It's like, it's not. I'm over that, you know. And then when people come experience, when they see, I feel like where my heart and passion is I have 3-4 solid clients right now that I'm very focused on, and I have this show. But above all, I have my main focus and my heart and passion on my family first. You know, when these cameras are off, I've said it before, I keep saying it till the day I die, is that she can look me in the face and my kids can look me in the face. They're like, that's real. I want that. Yeah. I want what my mom and dad have. You know, and that to me is huge success. Because before I got sick, grind, hustle. Look at me. Look at all my hash. Look at. Yeah, it's so fake. Matrix, man. It's not real. Yeah, and I do believe people are stuck in that. And they, like you said, they're not really self-aware. If they're really
self-aware,
they're really self-aware. How daring are they to put? Man, I'm at my lowest moment right now. I just did something stupid. Post it. Yeah,
no one's gonna fucking put that.
Yep,
no one wants to. No, man. It's a vulnerable spot, and we see that people punish you for your mistakes. You're punished. No one awards you for being sad. Good job. Thank you for telling us you're sad. No one gives a fuck that you're sad. That's just June. Like no one. Good job for telling us you're lazy. But there are some people that's like, oh damn, like okay, I get it. Like okay, like I'm not the only one. And those are the people you're speaking to. And then there's the people that are totally in the matrix that will just judge you. There's everything we said, we could have been potentially judged, and someone can completely not like what we're saying. So, I mean, I think that's the vulnerable spot for a lot of people, is they're scared to go through that. But when you're self-aware, you're like, man, I'm me. I'm not really trying to fake to be anything else. You know, I just want to be genuinely myself. So when I make it to the top, the people that truly do love me, at least they know who I am.
My man is reaching, man. You had, because we have so much that we can talk about, because I can already tell you do a lot of motivational videos. I've seen them, you know, and it's very evident now. We've talked about your travel experiences, man. Again, it comes from experience, you know, and you talked about living a spontaneous. I want to ask, like, define living a spontaneous life. Now, where does spontaneous is very just go.
Yeah, it is.
But where does the common sense fit into spontaneous?
Okay. Well, here, I'll give you an example. So one day I'm like, man, I just want to travel. I want to go somewhere I've never been. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Germany, I've been to Spain, been to Iceland, been to a lot of countries. All right, cool. Let's go. I don't want to go to Europe. I want to go somewhere that's completely a culture shock. All right. Thailand. Let's go to Thailand. All right. Book the ticket one way.
I saw that video, but go ahead.
Book it one way. That's it. All right. So I booked my one-way ticket, take off. All right. Now just have fun. Okay. The logic, the common sense is that you need a place to stay. All right, cool. That's out the way. Now, what else do you need to worry about? I mean, all the specifics. You want to go to see Buddhist monks, whatever you want to go do. All right. So now I'm in Thailand. I'm traveling. I'm seeing the beautiful country. And now everything's it's all new. I could do whatever I want. All right. Fun. I know I could do this. Let's challenge myself even more. All right. Well, what would you do if you had absolutely no money in this country? All right. That would be a fun YouTube video to make. Let's try it. Boom. Leave my wallet somewhere. No cash. Not allowed to spend money for the whole day. Now it's like, okay, now I got to just go off the kindness of random strangers. I have to challenge myself to grow. Like everything that's coming to me is I have no clue what's going to happen. I don't even know where I'm going to sleep tonight, right? And I just found there's a special weird sauce in that. And I hated it. That when I was doing it, I was, why am I doing this stupid challenge for YouTube?
And you're by yourself.
I'm by myself. Well, originally I was traveling with someone. I was traveling with a friend that I had met in Berlin for one night. Yeah, I met her one night in Berlin, and she was like, I'm going to, she was Ukrainian actually. And she was like, I'm going to Thailand. And I was like, cool, I'll go to Thailand too. You know, I like to travel. So I'm doing all these things, and it just allows you to know you're not going to die. I mean, at the end, maybe, but I didn't die. So,
because you're right here, unless this is like a very supernatural podcast right
I came back. This is actually me coming back to life.
Y'all see his aura?
This is just my energy speaking through you guys. No, but it always just gives me awareness that it'll be okay. No matter what happens, it'll be okay. So if you decide you want to move, or you you could be at your lowest point, but it'll be okay. That's what spontaneous means to me. If I wanted to drive and move to LA, and with nothing. It'll be okay. You'll figure it out. Like, it's better to plan. I specifically think it's better to plan, but sometimes the planning does take out of the energy of the moment.
Takes the fun out too.
Takes the fun. So it's the combination of both, but I think you should really live a life of spontaneity by just trying new things. Sometimes just moving to a new city or you start small and then you work your way up. I always there's a comfort zone. You don't grow in your comfort zone. You grow outside of your comfort zone.
Y'all just hear that? Come on. I mean, as much as we hear that,
it's so true, man.
But the thing is, though, coming from someone, and I'll say it, man, because you probably like ageism and all that, but someone as young as you, you don't hear, I don't hear a lot of young men your age talk or experience this way, man. So that I respect that. I look up to that. Being 41, when I was your age, I had all these guys my age telling me that you're nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know shit, you're this, it's like, and I let that weigh on me, So now, as an adult, dude, as a grown man, it's like I see a young guy like you. That's next level, and I pray and hope and believe that there are plenty more of you, young men, young women in society like that have that, man. Because it's not so much forced believe what I believe on you or do what I do. It's not, man. I'm living this only because I chose to unplug. I chose to not live a basic life, not because you told me or a podcast told me. It's because I had a revelation to say, I got to do that. Yeah. And I pray that everyone listening and watching to this experience that through this conversation.
Yeah, because the richness of life isn't in mere possession; it's in the actual experience. And the experience could be doing what you love every single day. That could be from home. You could do what you love. If you're genuinely that person, you're really honing into something. And then, or it could be actually just trying something new, trying a new food. It doesn't have to be on a scale of just going to a different country. It's it could be something little, right? Yeah. It starts little and then it grows big. I don't know what it was when I was younger that was little specifically that allowed me to think. I was always a big picture thinker when I was younger. I always had a bigger vision, So I've been blessed, and like you said, God doesn't confuse isn't the art of confusion. You'll know if you just ask. So I just been blessed at a young age to just be able to be in the wisdom and have certain people into my life. I feel like I came to my first spiritual awakening when I was 17, smoking weed with my brother. Right? Yeah. My brother's he's a really smart guy, and we were having the deepest talk, and he was just kind of breaking down the way how he sees life, and we're having the same dialect conversation that we're having now. But I'm 17, and then I come to I start reading books and everything, and I meet more mentors that are on YouTube that are really making good money off of YouTube, off of his subscribers, and giving out knowledge, and we become really close friends. And I get a really bad haircut, and then I become homeless again. I had this really amazing awakening, and then I went straight back to the mud, right? Yeah. And I feel like life is kind of like that. It's you feel I feel like I know, and then it's nah, bro, you don't know. You're homeless. You're back to square one, and that's the humility of life. It's no matter where you're at, you always go back. No matter how much you know, you still don't know.
Man, you reach it, bro. I love it because again, this is the type of podcast that I've been waiting for, man, and I guarantee we can talk for hours.
For sure.
Because I know there's a topic I'm on. I'm just gonna get into it. What are your thoughts on on the red pill community, Andrew Tate, all these guys, man?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Andrew Tate's videos. I feel like he's very specific on how he speaks, and it's to cause a reaction. It's very reaction oriented, right? It's not as genuine. You
think it's a role he's playing?
It's equivalent, yeah, for sure. It's equivalent to Candace Owens' character to strike a motion of opposition or I totally agree with you. And he speaks to men that aren't as genuine or humble to themselves and just loving. He speaks to men and he makes them be tell your woman to be like this, and she can't have any guy friends, and then he adds bits of truth. So it's you could tell a whole story and only have bits of truths, and it could be 5 truths and 1 lie. And that 1 lie made that 5 truths sound true. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So he's really good. He's really great at what he does, and he does have a lot of bits that you could agree with, but just like everybody else, he's a man. So we all know something and we all don't know anything. You just take it as what he's giving you, and then that's it. You keep moving forward.
Yeah.
What is the red pill community though?
Man, I don't know. I just found out about this. The red pill community, I don't want to, I'm really speaking out of my lack of knowledge of it, but from what I've seen, the red pill community is a bunch of, I don't say a bunch of men. It's just, again, a community of men wokeness type.
Oh yeah.
Like the alpha male, the high value man. And women. It's like, I mean, I guess from a man standpoint, I would agree, but there's other parts. It's like, really, come on. You know, it's like, you want women to be what? You want women to do what? Women can't what? You know, and to me, that's the toxic part of it. But I do understand, you know, because as a man, you know, priest, protector, provider of my household, you know, and we are very traditional. Maybe my wife can speak on this too, you know, so where it's like, I'm not speaking for her, but we know our roles. You know, she knows her role, you know, and that's something she agreed with, right? Would you say, Laura?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we got married, yeah.
You know, and in society, that's frowned upon because everyone thinks, well, Laura's your slave, Laura's this, Laura's that. And it's like, no, that's foundational, you know, because again, I have daughters. Do I want my daughters to be treated like that? No, I want them to know, look, you guys are queens, but you know, find a man that's willing to, you know, the Bible talks about, you know,
the man being the head of the household. Yeah,
women, submit yourself to, you know, to the men, you know, and husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. You know, then I heard this one, you know, person speak on that. And this is what made me very emotional. This lady was talking to women saying, you know, women, you know, submit yourself to to your husbands, Everyone, feminist women, all of them hate the word submit. But when you look at it through biblical foundation, it's like, are you a woman worth being, you know, or are you a man for the woman? Are you worth being submitted to? If you're a piece of shit, no.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Have you ever salsa danced?
Salsa dance? Heck no. I'm too rolly, bro. Look at this, bro. It'll look like Jello. They were like, you know.
The reason why I asked is in salsa dancing or bachata, I like to dance. It's a very beautiful flow.
It is, dude.
When you're dancing, there's a lead and there's a follow, right? So as you're leading the girl, it's like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's following your lead. But what happens if you don't know the steps? You can't teach her how to dance. She can't dance with you. You know?
Where you going?
So it's the same thing in life. It's like, as a man, you should acquire certain knowledge and wisdom to be able to lead the dance and the emotion and the leadership. That's what you should do as men. And it's not just say the man will always be the leader. It could be the woman, depending on the dynamic of the relationship. But from a person that would consider himself an alpha male or someone that, you know, because not all men, some men really like to not take control. I've met some. Yeah, it's different. So, but for all of us men that do, it's like when you're dancing with someone, it's like you're leading them, and the more better you are, and the more better of a follow she is, the more better their dance looks. I've been in a situation where the girl is trying to lead me, but she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah,
she's trying to tell me. I'm like, I've been dancing way longer than you. It's almost irritating. It's like, I've been dancing way longer than you. I know what I'm doing, and you're telling me how to do something, and you don't even know how to do what you're telling me to do. So that's the frustrating part. Can you know the steps? Can you know? I mean, yeah, of course. I think a woman should be able to lead. She should be able to take the lead, and you know, because that makes you a better follower. A good leader makes a better follower.
That's real.
A good follower makes a better leader. As men, at some point, we have to be followers of other men to make us better men. So it's the dynamic of both. But I think the point of the salsa reference is like men should be able to lead, and it has to be from a place of understanding their role as a leader to lead proficiently. Because I watch guys dance with girls. I'm like, looks terrible.
Like, bro, you got 2 left feet.
You just take some classes, come back, like take some relationship classes, get some experience from like how to lead, and then go and you can lead the girl, and then the girl won't just walk away. So yeah, from a woman's perspective, no, when the guy doesn't know how to lead, you should be able to identify that. And that guy is like, try to be the best leader you can. Try to level up your life so much to where you are. I mean, if you truly love people, then you do want to have the best dance, and you know what I mean? But from Andrew Tate's standpoint, back to the red pill and Andrew Tate, he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
Have you ever hung out with millionaires that are assholes?
No, I haven't.
I have. Millionaires are complete assholes, dicks. And they have 20 girls. And they say, hey, you want to be around me? I'm the man. I'll buy you a Birkin bag. I'll fly you out to Vegas. And these are my other girlfriends. So it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And men that are very financially powerful, they know their power, and they know, it's sad to say, that girls will do whatever to be around them, no matter what. It doesn't matter what they say or what they look like. Andrew Tate's a decent looking dude. He's a good looking dude.
Kind of goofy.
He's also a fighter too. Yeah. So you add those 3 quality traits, he's winning in the Matrix. So all the people that aren't really woke in like women or men cannot be woke. So women that aren't woke in the Matrix, come to me.
Yeah, that's real. Because I do know quite a few multimillionaires, man. But these guys they're very traditional. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of where my life, I aspire to be like that, because I see their families. Mm-hmm. You know, I see their kids that have kids, and they have kids, and it's just the generational, you know, prosperity, man, you know, financially, of course, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all that. It's very foundational. And that's where I think we are, you know, going, like, that's what we're aspiring to, man, because we have generations, me and my family, my side of the family, my mom, my dad, my grandpa, great grandma. But we're at this point where in our marriage, it's like, you know what? We're base. We're a new family tree. We're going to be great, 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 greats. Yeah. You know, we're going to establish a generational blessing. And, you know, because I've seen these guys, and these guys are local, Kingsburg, South Valley, you know, farmers, rich farmers, and beautiful family, man. And the only reason why, like I said, I brought that example with us, man, because if, you know, Bible says, you know, husbands, love your wives, you know, as Christ loved the church. And we got to ask women, are you worth loving? Are you worth loving like Christ loved the church? We got to flip that, because we hear that in weddings. Yeah. You know, we hear that scripture being read all the time. But if you flip it on you, are you as a man, are you worth submitting to? I admit I wasn't. You know, our beginning 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years of our marriage, I was a piece of shit. It's not like I was abusive. I'd ignore her. I was just that guy, because I thought, oh, I'm still living me. I'm doing me. You know, no, man. Maturity. Yeah. Time to mature up, man. Time to grow up. And I do believe, and I've read studies, man. I'll put them in the bottom of the description below, but like, men don't fully mature 35, 36, 37 years old. Yeah. Women.
Right away, right? Like, it was like 20.
And I don't blame them why they, you know, it's really young. Yeah. You know, and so we got married. She was 19. Yeah. You know, but her maturity when we had our first kid, man, it turned on. And it was actually there more, but it just, the mom, the mother, the wife, you know, the one that just makes a home, she did it. You know, very, very blessed, you know, to know, you know, again, we live in a world where women are not to be, you know, I don't need no man. You know, good for you, but you do want one. So let's find the middle, please. You know, and so to get off on that, because again, I feel like, you know, the conversations we're having, the conversation we had today.
It's just super interesting, because, you know, from guys like, man, a lot of guys operate from their sexual energy, which I feel like that distorts a lot of women mindset to be able to truly connect with a man, because they have to question his intent behind the connection. Oh, yeah. So it's hard for a girl to submit. They're just trying to get what they're trying to get, and a guy's just trying to get what they're trying to get. The energy's matched. It's moving past that personally, so you could, like, we as men have to be like, oh, man, like, I know I'm just trying to get one thing out of this girl. Yep. But I'm gonna ruin her, because she thought it was love. She thought it was truth. No, it wasn't that. It was lust. And I just wanted what I wanted in that moment. Right. So it's like, man, we do play a big part of the
Facts.
creating the toxic energy for them. Because if all guys were truthfully like, man, I want her, I want to fall in love with her and marry her. And maybe that is the guy. But when by the time she got to you and she had fucking Jim, John, and all these 3 dudes play her, she's looking at you like,
got these bodies, man, stacked.
Buy me the bag, like, and then she had one dude that was kind of financially well off that, you know, was like throwing her some money. So now she's kind of used to it, a certain thing. So it's like, it's a weird dynamic, and it's us, it takes every individual to elevate their own self. So the more you elevate, the more you can, and it also takes making the mistakes in the relationship, you know? You know,
and I think that's what helps with maturity. And a lot of times we use those mistakes and get real shielded, real guarded.
harder.
I don't, and again, for the most part, I do not blame, but unless you're in a world like, you know, these types of conversations, you know, especially on these, on this podcast, it's like we're very vulnerable, very open. Unless you're willing not to be that and willing to be hurt, you'll never really experience that freedom. You'll be on guard all the time, whether rightfully so or not. You know, and again, that's what makes us human. Sometimes when we guard ourselves, I'm a robot. I'm this. I'm that. No, man.
I don't feel anything. I can do whatever I want. It's and we know people like that, and we've been in those shoes too. Like I know some girls that are really cold, and you know it comes from getting cheated on from their engaged or future to be husband, right? And then then they come back and they're carrying all that baggage they haven't, and it's hard to heal. It takes a while to really heal from something that really traumatized you, like being cheated on by someone that you love. And then also is on the man part, it's like, okay, I cheated on this girl and now she left me and I don't understand why. And you know, like it goes both ways. It's just like, it's a weird complex, and you can only learn. Relationships are the most revealing.
Come on.
That's what I want to say. Relationships will reveal the most about yourself that you have. Because when you're single, you get to hide away from all these things.
You got no one to challenge you on things.
No one to challenge you. You're doing what you want.
Down.
None of that.
Use the
No one sees how dirty you are, your mistakes, or you're an asshole in the morning. But when you're close, when you're intimate, you see everything. This camera isn't intimate with us. They can't see us all the time. They just see the first date experience, which we could offer. Wow, you're a great person. But like, man, when you're with someone, how long have you guys been together for?
17 years.
17 years, you really see that person. Because like, man, I mean, 17 years, you learn a lot about yourself too as well. And you change a lot in the 17 years. So I feel like I said, relationships are the most revealing just because you get to see the aspects of the other person, of what you do and don't want, and the aspects of yourself, of who you are and what you haven't really healed from or dealt with.
Y'all don't even know what you guys are hearing. You know, this is like legit. I mean, this to me, this podcast is very just, it's again, I'm learning. You know, I'm learning from someone younger. And I'm
learning
okay
from you
with
too,
that.
man. I'm learning from you too.
That's what's up, man. And I feel like when we pour in each other, man, that's all that matters because we're growing. You know, and I think you find a new respect in life. You find a new respect with you know, with people. I feel like, you know, I don't believe entirely like him, but I respect that he's doing it. You know, I'll never take away from anybody doing it, man, whether I agree with it or not. It's not my place. You know, and so, I mean, again, tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on, how they can support you. Because, bro, I do believe a part 2 is coming up because I feel like we can just talk.
I know.
Bro, and I really want to keep it going, man. But I do want to be respectful of your time, you know. And, you know, I'm a family man, so my kids are probably hungry. They want like a burrito. But, you know, but I dude, I respect you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you hitting us up, man.
Yeah, no, I saw the content. I thought it was great. I mean, I could just tell the energy just from watching the video. So just we need more of this. You know, the world needs you, and what you're doing is very valuable, and the energy you're bringing to the podcast world is going to be crazy. So
I received that, man. I appreciate you, man. So tell everywhere where they can find you.
You guys can follow me at Emerald Depree on all social medias: Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, all that.
Okay. And
on YouTube too.
Yes, YouTube, especially on YouTube.
Yeah, look me up on YouTube.
Okay.
Subscribe, baby.
Subscribe, man. Like, get that
Like,
notification go, especially on this podcast
I
too.
want to see it.
Yeah. So let me tell you this, man. And we do this on the show, man. Last words, last thought, overall conversation. Someone listening or watching, what do you want to tell them, man?
Last words, detach from the matrix. It's all a big illusion. See what's real in your life and really connect with that and learn how to really be the best version of yourself for the world, but also be the most genuine version for yourself.
That's real. What about you, Laura?
You know, I really liked your salsa analogy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking, like, I was listening to Andrew Tate and I was like, how he talked about women. I was like, dang, he's like, why do you want to have somebody if you're not, I don't know. I just like his the way he looked at it, it just felt kind of wrong.
Mhm.
You know, because I was listening, I was thinking about like, what is submissive? Like, I feel like I'm submissive
Mhm.
to my husband, but when is it like, okay, now you're just a slave. Like there's boundaries and stuff. But I really liked your analogy of how it's just following somebody.
Mhm.
Because, you know, we do live in a culture where, you know, the women want to be above the man,
Mhm.
which is nothing wrong with that because it's dynamically, you know, how a relationship is. But I wanted to put in between me and Jose's relationship, like, it's like dancing.
Yeah.
And that was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Yeah. And I, you know, I mean, I believe that, you know, when God made Adam, he says man should not be alone. So he created Adam from his rib, from his side. You know, he could have created him for the bone of his feet, you know, from the back, you know, but, you know, from the side, you know, and I feel like, you know, the helper, you know, because women are our helpers, man. She's my helper. I don't treat her any different. I don't treat her, you know, as my slave. She's my, you know, there's times where I'm like very rude or attitude, but she's my helper and I couldn't do anything without her. So I'm not better than her. She's not, we're together, you know, and I feel like when you find a relationship, when you find that, especially this whole topic, because again, it comes down to relationship reveals a lot, you know, and so when you don't know about yourself, you're going to experience some things, you know, that's when life hits, when you like, so I would say overall, man, you guys listening and watching, man, this is a different podcast. The vibe has been amazing. The conversation has been real. And I definitely would love for you guys to level up, man. Like you said, you know, really find who you are. You know, it's not so much find me, do you, boo boo. It's none of that. You know, it's like when you find out really doesn't matter, but I would say most things in life don't matter and you're okay with that. And I think you're winning and I think you're good, you know, and so grow, find yourself, find what's important to you, find what needs to go. You know, if it's that family member, if it's that relationship and you know, you're like, you know, I'm not growing here. I'm being hurt, you know? And so when you figure that out, you find you're self-aware. Self-awareness comes with a lot of responsibility because you can be self-aware of your value, but be self-aware of your faults, be self-aware of your shortcomings. Yeah. And when you know that, no one can beat you. And I can tell you that from experience, not because I read it in a book or heard it on TikTok. I've experienced it personally. So I want to thank you guys, man. Thank you, Emerald, for jumping on the show. Seriously, man, I'm looking forward to a part 2.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, and we'll definitely want to follow you and support you in whatever you do in your music and your career.
Appreciate it.
You know, and so you let me know what you need. You guys listening and watching, follow this man, show him some love and reach out to him. Follow his videos, like them, share them, subscribe. You know, same thing with this podcast. If you guys found anything out of this, a gem that you can take home and start living it out, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, man, on MySpace. No, we're not on MySpace, you know, but I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next one. We're getting close to wrapping up on season 2, man, because we're putting in work, man. And this is the type of content we want to continue to put out, not to go viral, not to try to be a trendy, but we really want to put out content that relates to you. You're listening, watching, you know, you're driving, you're at home, cleaning, doing whatever. And I hope this impacts you. I love you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye.